Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I brought both of the Melody Beatty books with me, of course, as I always do. And I also have my reading glasses with me. So, let's get into this. I stopped on the Journey to the Heart. That was on top. So let's read from Journey to the Heart today. All right. I can't believe it's already, we're into September. September 2nd. Did I read yesterday from here, or did I read? Yes, I did. Okay, September 2nd. Listen to the voice of the soul. Oh, I like this, the title of this already. Listen to your soul. It speaks quietly, yet clearly, about what it wants, what it needs, what it's learning, what it yearns for. It speaks of its fears and dreams, its hopes and needs. Learn to listen to the souls of others, too. Listen not only to the way people chatter and exchange ideas, learn to listen to what they're really saying. My son is 19. He's moved away from home. He talks all the time about wanting to be grown up, wanting his independence. So my husband and I have really tried to give him his freedom, one woman said. Yet recently, when he had a crisis, I heard for the first time what he was really saying. Don't go too far away. Call me often. Be there for me. Let me know you're there. Let me know you still care. Now I try to call him every day just to tell him I love him and to let him know I'm close by. The crisis he had wasn't the issue. Not really. What he was really saying was he needed us. Go beyond what you hear with your ears. Learn to hear what you're really saying and what others are really saying to you. Souls do talk. Listen quietly. Listen to your own. Learn to hear the voice of others. A little soul talk goes a long way. Wow, I love that. And I think the technical term for this is nonverbal cues. It's like when you're trying to read somebody, maybe not what they're saying, but it's like, have you ever had like an argument with like your partner, let's say, right? And you come in the door and they're like, well, you didn't take the trash out, or you say it to them, right? And really what you're saying and what you're really wanting to say are not matching up, so to speak, right? Like maybe what you're wanting to say is like, I feel like I do everything around here and you're not helping out. Or maybe you're saying, I don't feel appreciated, or I don't feel like you care enough about me, right? But we don't say that. We say things like, you don't ever bring me flowers, right? Or like, well, I have to do everything around here, or I have to take the kids to all of the games, and I have to do the dinner, and I have to do the homework, right? Instead, what we would say is, hey, I'd like a little help here. I don't feel appreciated, right? But we don't say that. And what I have learned in this world is how much easier it is to say what we're feeling. And I have to tell you, in marriage counseling, this was a fantastic thing that happened, because Alex and I were both people, my husband Alex, we were both people that spoke in terms of like not saying what was in our soul, so to speak, right? So that would end up in arguments, because when you say to somebody, I have to do everything around here, when what you're really wanting to say is, I don't feel appreciated, what the other person hears is, well, I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this. What do you mean you don't feel like I'm helping you out, right? Then it becomes about that issue. And then that issue becomes a bigger issue, because then that person feels like, well, I am helping, like, what do you mean I'm not doing anything? And then they say something, their emotion comes in to how they react to that, right? So we make a reactionary statement like, you're not the only one that lives here, I do things too, because what you want to say then is, well, I don't feel like I'm validated. Like, you don't feel like you're validated, I don't feel like I'm validated, but we don't say that, right? You say, well, I took the trash out, and I did this, and I did that, and then before you know it, you have stopped having a fight, and the fight is having you. It is so much simpler in this world, and not just with partners, but with coworkers, with friends, with family, with whoever. It is so much simpler to just say to that person what is going on in your heart and what is going on in your soul and how you feel in that moment, To say, I'm having a really hard day, and can you just say something nice to me? Or to say, like, I'm just not feeling very appreciated. You are the best husband or the best wife in the entire world, and most days I feel like, just you being here is enough, but today I'm just not feeling appreciated. I feel like I have ran just wild all around town. I have ran myself dry, like trying to go here, trying to go there, whatever, and I just need a pat on the back, It's not hard hard to ask for those things, but we don't do it, do we? We just don't. Look at my hair. Don't look too close. But we just don't do it, do we? Like, I don't know why. I don't know why we don't do it. And it's sad because then it results in fights, and the fight, when you stop having the fight and the fight starts having you, okay? Have you ever been in a fight for so long that at some point you're like, I don't even remember how this fight started? Or you're telling your friend or somebody about it like the next day. Like before we went into counseling, I would call my friend Tanya and I would say, oh my God, we've been fighting for like 2 days. And she'd be like, well, what started the fight? And I'd be like, I don't even know. I think it was, he told me to pick where to go to dinner, and I said I wanted Olive Garden, and he said he wanted Mexican. And I'm like, that's where the fight started, and now we're talking about getting divorced. Like, that happens. Like, that happened to us. Like, that's scary stuff, right? When you're looking at these small fights that you're having or arguments. We don't fight like that today. You know, today if one of us says something that's kind of irrational, the other one looks at the other person, we were taught this in counseling, and say, sit down, let's sit down, okay? What's really going on? What are you really feeling right now? And 9 times out of 10, it's like something horrible has happened in our day, or we're stressed out, or we didn't have enough time to get something done, or we didn't get enough sleep, or we're hungry, or we're hangry, or whatever, you know? It's like, it's just not that deep. But we don't communicate that to each other because it's, for some reason, it's harder, you know? It's like the same thing with couples not having conversations about intimacy, right? Who's the one person you should be having a conversation with about intimacy? Your partner. Who's the last person you typically have conversation with about intimacy? Your partner. You know what I mean? It's like they're your partner for a reason. Remember back when you first saw them and you got butterflies in your stomach and you couldn't wait for the phone call to hear from them, and you went on the first date and you were so excited and you planned your wedding, or you just planned your first apartment moving in together, or maybe you're still early in a relationship, you don't live together, but you can't wait to see them. You know, go back to that. Remember that. They're not just a person that ended up sitting on the side of the couch with you, okay? That happens in so many relationships. It's happened to relationships that I have been in, right? But, you know, at some point, it's like, I think that all of this stuff starts coming in between it, and we don't talk to the other person. They're your partner, you know? One of the things that my husband always says to me, and this just means the world to me, he's like, you're my partner in crime. You are my partner in life, you know, like jokingly partner in crime. He's like, you're my partner in life. You're my teammate, right? Like, we need to be on the same team going through everything in life. Like, each of us is who we should be sharing stuff with. And it's the truth, you know, but we're so scared of that sometimes. We're so scared to tell people what's really going on, you know? It was like I was talking to a friend of mine who's going through some really hard times right now. And I started finding myself getting really upset, getting really angry for them, right? And they made some comment to me about like, well, you seem real irritated. And I said, I'm getting angry because they were being real calm about this situation. Do you ever do this? And I said, you know, like, I'm getting angry for you. And I said, and what I'm realizing as I'm getting angry for you is I'm not helping you in this situation. You know, I need to be the friend that can be supportive, that can be calm. And I settled my butt down, and I got off the phone and I called my sponsor and I said, hey, listen, I explained the situation and I said, you know, what do I need to do? And she said, you need to suit up and show up and be part of the solution and not part of the problem. She was like, you're not helping anybody getting somebody angry. And, you know, and I called my friend back, and it's just because I am that person today. You know, I talk about peace and serenity, but like I got that toolbox that I got to work through, you know. Thankfully, I didn't take it all the way through and say like, well, what we're going to do is, and get my friend real riled up too, you know, because I don't want to do that today. And what I said to her was, I'm so protective of you. I love you so much. I want the best for you, you know, that I'm willing to get hyped up about this, but that's not good for either one of us. And she said, no, you're right. It's not. Like, I need to be calm and collected while I'm dealing with this, you know? And ultimately, that's what I want, you know? And so, like, that's where we share with each other, you know, today. Like, the people in my life, I share with them what's going on, you know? And they say the same things to me, you know? They'll say, hey, you know, like, this is what's going on with me, and this is what I need, and whatever. It's like, my friend Tanya Jean and I will get in a car, you know, and drive around, have fountain pop, and some nights she'll get in the car and she'll say, you know, because usually it's just random talk, you know, about nothing. And so, you know, she'll get in the car sometimes and she'll say, hey, like, I really need to talk for a couple minutes, you know? That's her soul speaking. That's her saying what she needs. Imagine how the world would be if we spoke more about what we needed instead of sugarcoating it because we don't really want to talk about that issue, because we're too afraid to talk about that issue, because we're too afraid to get vulnerable or open ourselves up to other people, you know? It's like one of the things that's always interesting to me is when people say, I'm very guarded, I don't open myself up to other people, you know, and like, I think they see that as a badge of honor, kind of like I'm a really strong person. Makes me really sad for them. You know, honestly, when people tell me that, and people tell me that all the time, they'll say, I'm really guarded, I don't let anybody in. And I always think, how sad that is for you. You know how sad that is for you that you don't have people that you open up to and that you get vulnerable with and you allow people in, because sure, there's going to be people out there that hurt us. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to, you know, take our vulnerabilities and those moments of us being raw and sharing those with them, and they're going to take them and turn them into something else and maybe possibly hurt us. But there's going to be people out there that don't. There's going to be a lot of people out there that care about us and love us and want the best for us, you know? And if you're guarded to the point where you don't let anybody in, how will you ever know if you meet one of those people? Right, Tucker? Did you just see the ring light go like that because he just jumped into it? Tucker said, yes, Dad, right. And I'm hungry for dinner. So we're going to get off here and the pups are going to have dinner. And I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.